Hey there, MJ traders. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector review. Today is Tuesday, March 30th, and in this video, we're just going to go over some news and events. We'll look at some charting on both the US and Canadian sectors. But before we do, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. So we saw that New York MJ legalization bill clears first committee with floor votes expected later this afternoon. So we could see some updates on this later on today, but it's looking good. New York, you know what to do. So the SAFE Act has made its way to the Senate, and this comes after it just passed in the House, and it's now being introduced into the Democratic-controlled Senate with nearly a third of the chamber as co-sponsors. So could take on a whole new path here, and things are looking up. Let me know in the comments below if you think the SAFE Act and New York could legalize all at the same time. I think it's a great possibility. Biden's opposition to MJ legalization has not changed as per the press secretary. Also, Fed's investigating MJ MSO Green Thumb Industries, and this comes after the possibility the company was involved in a corruption related to its political donations, the Chicago Tribune reported. So stock was getting crushed today. We also had Harvest Health and Recreation Q4 revenue increases 85% to $69.9 million. So it looks like they had a beat. That's in US dollars, so they beat on revenue, and the EPS came in at negative 0.01, which was expected. And they had an adjusted EBITDA of $15.3 million in 2020 compared to a negative $43.7 million in 2019. So lots of beats there, pretty impressive. Moving on, taking a look at GTII, we'll look at the chart here, and it is a nasty one. We are breaking down on high volume, and this is no joke. Being investigated, that is a serious offense. And we had support at 30.22. We hit a low of 31 and finished the day with a little bit of a doji there. Daily oversold. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a gap down tomorrow, but absolutely getting crushed. We lost the 10-week moving average. We had a little bit of a heads up last week, though, because we lost the 10-week moving average. Then the MACD and stochastic were extremely bearish as well. And now we're seeing that follow through on the weekly moving averages. We're not even close to the 50 weekly moving average, which is down at 24.52, so that could be another level, and 25 psychological as well. We also have the 200-day moving average down at 26.50, and we lost the 100 today, and we gapped down below it, and just an absolute train wreck. And taking a look at the weekly chart, we lost the weekly VWAP. We're closing below the weekly VWAP as well. That is a major red flag. Not many names doing that. And just absolutely crushing the sector. But man, once this thing gets going and we get a bounce going on the daily, we have no real resistance up until $46. So even just from the current close today, you're looking at about 42% of upside, but with high risk comes high reward. So taking a look at the rest of the sector, we had on the bear list VREO, GTII, BioHarvest, and CXXI, just dragging the whole sector down. Bev was up quite a bit today. This is a name that I added to on consolidation. GRWG, Cara leading the way up. Nice move here after hitting the lows of 80 cents. So solid move of about 24%, 25%. We had resistance at 105 and $1 psychological, but I was averaging in. I got it at $1 and I bought it again. I think I filled it around 85 cents. And this is one of my long-term holds as well. And they're big into the MJ beverage industry, if you haven't noticed by the name of their ticker. So moving on to the Canadian space, on the bull and bear list, we had ZENA, PCLO, N, and RIV. On the bull list, we had NSP, XLY, APHA, Huge, OGI, High Tide. So looks like XLY still seeing a favorable reaction to that uplisting news, moving from the Venture Exchange to the Toronto Stock Exchange. But we still haven't seen earnings come out for XLY. And I noticed that the earnings date did get updated to today's date. But maybe if we don't see it today, they'll just update it to tomorrow's date, I guess. So still waiting for update on that one. And also on Zenabis, we haven't seen the earnings on that. So are they potentially hiding something? Let me know in the comments below. Are you getting restless? I really don't like when companies do that. It shouldn't be that difficult to let us know when it's coming or tell us if there's going to be a delay. There's a thing called the internet now. So most companies are consolidating still on the daily time frame. CGC, though, is shaping up was going to say, it looks like we had a potential daily trend change, but I wouldn't call that enough of a bounce yet to consider that enough of a trend change here. So we do have support here at 30.23 and then 28.04. But with this news of potential New York legalizing and the SAFE being reintroduced to the Senate, it's entirely possible that we see a bit more hype in the space, especially if they were both to approve at the same time. But the thing that we have to keep in the back of our minds is it can always go a lot lower from here. We are at risk of weekly downtrends on a lot of names, and MSOS hit daily oversold today, and also confirmed a weekly downtrend. So we had a lower low with that break of 40.80, and we're seeing that follow through, and we could be seeing a test of EMA 26 down at 37.24. So if we see more names do the same, that is not looking good. And like I said, a lot of names with weekly supports coming into play, and MJ is not set up well if the broader market sees any weakness. So check out my video that I did earlier on the broader market for the daily market recap, but essentially not set up well at all if the market decides to roll over or see any real weakness, especially if SPY were to lose the weekly uptrend. That would most definitely, in my opinion, cause weekly downtrends in MJ. But again, bulls are hoping that this New York news and the SAFE news being reintroduced to the Senate can kind of light a fire under these bulls and get some hype and momentum back into the sector. So again, let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. Do you think the SAFE Act could be passed, and do you think New York could legalize at the same time? Again, love hearing from you. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Sector review, and we'll see you tomorrow.